Belal Muhammad's remarks on Sean Strickland. Belal Muhammad, known for his active presence on social media, took the opportunity to comment on Sean Strickland's performance following his loss to Dricus Du Plessis. Says 6-0 Du Plessis. He also says, don't touch him. DC, he got staff? Well, let me tell you guys something, Sean sucks. Muhammad has previously criticized Strickland, urging him to back up his talk with action. KHAMZAT's reaction to Du Plessis versus Strickland 2. KHAMZAT expressed his dissatisfaction with the rematch between Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland, labeling the fight as biggest bullsh**. Chimaev's reaction underscores his eagerness to face top contenders in the middleweight division. Magomed ANKALAEV goes off on Alex Pereira, light heavyweight contender. Magomed ANKALAEV has intensified his verbal attacks on reigning champion Alex Pereira ahead of their scheduled title bout at UFC 313 on March 8, 2025. ANKALAEV has been vocal about his disdain for Pereira, labeling him as a fake humble boy and expressing an unprecedented desire to inflict harm upon him. He has openly criticized Pereira's training methods, contrasting them with his own rigorous regimen. ANKALAEV detailed his preparation, stating, "I have been climbing mountains, chopping woods, swimming in freezing lakes," emphasizing the grueling nature of his training. In contrast, he mocked Pereira for dancing on TikTok, suggesting that the champion's focus is misplaced. ANKALAEV further accused Pereira of being distracted by constant travel and warned, he forgets he will be fighting for his life March 8th. He will never be the same after this fight. Ali Abdelaziz's praise for Dricus Du Plessis. Renowned MMA manager Ali Abdelaziz commended Dricus Du Plessis for his performance against Sean Strickland. Abdelaziz highlighted Du Plessis' challenging fighting style and extended his respect for the champion's abilities. Nassourdine Imavov's challenge to Dricus Du Plessis. Following UFC 312, Nassourdine Imavov respectfully called out middleweight champion Dricus Du Plessis, asserting his readiness to challenge for the title. Imavov's statement reflects his confidence and ambition within the division. Dana White confirms Du Plessis-Chimaev title fight. UFC President Dana White has confirmed that Dricus Du Plessis' next title defense will be against KHAMZAT Chimaev. This announcement sets the stage for a highly anticipated matchup between the reigning champion and the undefeated challenger. Renato Moicano's comments on anshul jubli's fight Renato Moicano trolls Indian fans, saying referee does that. He also trolls anshul jubli after his loss at UFC 312, says 20 years to have an Indian in UFC and the referee does that. Indian fans are angry at this statement. Some agree with him, saying that referee did not do anything wrong. Dricus Du Plessis' response to KHAMZAT Chimaev. After his victory over Sean Strickland, Dricus Du Plessis addressed KHAMZAT Chimaev's comments, advising him to stay out of the cold. This remark adds to the growing anticipation of their upcoming title clash.
Yeah, you can see he really tweeted. Usually when it makes sense, it's his agent. When it doesn't make sense, you know he actually tweeted it.
So do you have a message? I'm sure he's watching. Do you have a message for him?
No. Stay out of the cold.
Fair enough. And last one for me, there's obviously a couple other middleweights.
Dricus Du Plessis confirms fight with KHAMZAT Chimaev. In a recent interview, Dricus Du Plessis confirmed that his next fight will be against KHAMZAT Chimaev, expressing his readiness to face the undefeated contender and defend his middleweight title.
Dana was also in here, and he said, you know, that possible fight against you and KHAMZAT would also be pretty massive at this point. So if it were up to you and he came to...
No, KHAMZAT's first.
KHAMZAT's first?
KHAMZAT's first. No, I wish him... I said, please beat ANKALAEV. No hate against ANKALAEV. I just want to beat Alex Pereira. It's nothing personal against ANKALAEV. It was just... Pereira, he's such a legend in the sport to me already that it would be amazing to beat him for my legacy. I want to be the greatest to ever do this. But KHAMZAT's next. KHAMZAT is next. I want to make sure that this belt, the middleweight title, that there's no question that I'm the GOAT of the middleweight division. And I know that, you know, you have Anderson Silva. In my mind, he is the GOAT of this division. And you have Adesanya, who's done incredible things. But it's not about how many times just you defend. It's about who you fight, how you defend it, and how you've done it, and what period of time have you done it. And
Dricus Du Plessis also reply. Nassourdine Imavov. Dricus says, what do you guys think? Which matchup make more money? Me and KHAMZAT or me and imavov? He also says imavov should rematch Israel. Adesanya.
And on Nassourdine imavov as well, he's in an interesting position where some has said he's done enough to potentially get a title shot, but you've mentioned that KHAMZAT is next. Do you think he needs one more win to be in that conversation?
It doesn't matter what I think. We all know what's going to happen. Like, what do you think makes more money? Me and KHAMZAT or me and imavov?
Yeah.
Dana White reply on Strickland loss at UFC 312. Dana White defends Strickland and says he is very good fighter. He also appreciates Strickland to fight a seasoned veteran like Dricus Du Plessis. Here is what he says.
Your take of the fight and how do you view it?
I agree with you. Sean is usually really good at shutting people down. And like Izzy, when he fought Izzy felt like it looked like he couldn't get into a rhythm. And he was in his face, pressuring him the whole time. Feels like that was what Dricus did. I'll tell you something fascinating that I noticed tonight for the first time. I don't know why. See if you notice this. So Sean Strickland, the way that he acts leading up to fights, right? Normally when you have people who act the way that he acts, you see signs of it in a fight. Who is more focused, professional, and solid in a fight than he is? You know, when he gets hurt, no sticking out the tongue or no, that didn't hurt me, anything. The guy stays focused, keeps coming forward. There's never any hint of how he acts outside the octagon when he's in there. Absolute professional the whole time. It's actually fascinating. I don't know if I've ever seen that with a guy who acts the way he does leading up to fights.
It must just be his happy place or something.
Huh?
It must be his happy place.
I don't know. Or this is all, you know what I mean? I've never seen a guy so solid and professional. Gets his nose broke, snaps it back into place and keeps fighting. Gets hit with some nasty shots. When he gets hit with big shots, he doesn't start shaking his head and doing all the goofy things that people like that do. I mean, you can go into any combat sport and you've seen it. Nobody is more professional during the fight than this guy is. It's fascinating.
These developments have generated significant interest and discussion within the MMA community, as fans eagerly anticipate the forthcoming matchups and narratives.